Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Namah Vast is the feet of my mind, on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind, on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Divine Mother, 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 my Divine Mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind, on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind, on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Divine Mother, 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 my Divine Mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind, on the blue lotus feet of my Divine Mother.
Okay, we'll check the mic first. Is this audible? Yes? Okay, very good. Very good. Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadguru Sri Mujiji ki Jai. I read something very beautiful today, which I posted on Facebook also. Bhagwan said there is no ego. Seems like the most obvious thing. It's what we speak about every day. So if there is no ego, then is there something to get rid of, something to overcome, something to even transcend? So there is no ego. And also he says that, and every time we inquire and look for it, we find that it doesn't exist. Am I the only one who feels like it's enormous? Because if there is no ego, then what are we doing? You see? So what in actuality there is no ego. In reality there is no person. You see? So that's why in the same breath he says, when we inquire, what is the need to inquire then? If there is no person and in reality, in actuality, there is no ego, then why would you also say, let's inquire and see? Because although there is no person, there is no ego in reality, in actuality, yet we have this way of believing it to be there, of believing one that doesn't exist. Now, the greatest one who in no uncertain terms that there is no ego. Are we still going to believe the voice which says, but maybe, but what about this? And and what about my feelings? And what about my entire spiritual journey? In a way, yes. But also it's been a joyous play actually. So are you going to go with Bhagwan's words and check into and inquire into the reality of what he's saying? Or are you still going to buy something which the mind is telling you? That is the only seeming choice right now. The only seeming choice, if there is one, is this one. Are we going to inquire and look understand actually what is the meaning of who am I? Is it a question, who am I? Is it just a question? No, it is a imploration to look, to inquire. So it is a looking, who am I, not the questioning, who am I, that is important. You see. You know the meaning when I'm saying like this? I mean that when it's just a question, then it's responded to with an answer. But when it's a looking for who am I, then it is not just settling for a mental answer. It is actually looking. Who am I right now? Bhagwan said, when we look into this, because we find that there are not two of us here, we find that there never has been an ego. Only the self is here. Beautifully, isn't it? So if only the self is here, then where do we need to go looking for it? Nowhere, just here. And when we look, what do we find? If we have no expectation about what we are supposed to find, let's keep all expectation about what is supposed to be the self and let's look at what is actually here. And that which is here is you. That which is aware of the mind and aware of no mind, of thoughts and the space between thoughts. Do you go away? A thought comes, thought goes. The next thought comes, next thought goes. In between these two, are you still there or no? Or you also go with the thought? Then if you're still there, actually look, is there any change in this one with the coming and going of thought, whether thought is there or thought is not there? Which part of you also went away with the thought? Is there any part? Are you not effortlessly here as the witnessing of these? And one all of this and see that in the outer world, seeming outer world, there are these voices, words which are heard. There are visuals which are coming and going. Do you go away when a visual goes away or a sound goes away or a sensation goes away? Or a taste goes away? Are you not still here in the coming and going of these appearances? Then let's go further in. Thoughts can come and thoughts can go. With the coming and going of these thoughts, do you also come and go, or you are just here? Who is here in the space between your thoughts? That which witnesses the coming of thought and the going of thought, that is still here after the thought is gone. You are not resisting any thoughts. You are unaffected, untouched. Let's go even deeper in the of sensations. Who is witnessing them? And is that which is witnessing them coming and going along with them? Or is it just here? Bring your attention to any of these sensations. Any sensation in the body, or any emotion, any pain that you're experiencing. Are you aware of it? Or is it aware of you? And this you that is aware of it is is something happening to it? See now if you can bring your attention to your own sense of being, sense of existing, the sense that I am. Observe how being is just being. It is not being as something. It just is. There is nothing that this being wants, and there is nothing that this being is resisting. Just here, always present. See now if you can bring your attention completely back to the witnessing itself, to that which is aware even of presence. What is here? Is there an up or down? Is there a right or wrong? Is there any time or space? Can this be found or lost? Can it come and go? Try to separate yourself from this one, not just in your imagination, not just as a visual, but actually create some distance between yourself. Do you have a color or shape or size here? Now allow your attention to go to your presence and notice how Although attention has gone to this place of presence, you have not left your true position. Only attention is now moving about. And now allow your attention to go wherever it likes. Leave it completely free. And notice that even though your attention is now completely left free to go wherever it likes, you are still the awareness that is aware even of the movement of attention. You don't have to hold on to this place. In fact, you can never leave it. Just this simple seeing is your self recognition. It is your realization that I am the self. And notice how, as we cross this realm of appearances, we didn't come across something called the ego. We didn't encounter this person. It has no existence. Not even in our imagination. There's a question about the difference between consciousness and awareness. And how it seems like consciousness is some sort of a function just of the body. But if we notice how the waking state comes, first there's always this sense of I amness. There's a time where we don't even know which body this one is. And many of us have had these experiences where we actually have to wait a few seconds before there's a recollection of which realm this one is. It seems to happen very fast for the mind. And yet, some of us have had these experiences when we open our eyes and check, oh, these hands, these ones are here. And many have also reported things like near death experiences, out of body experiences, with the sense I had an out of body experience, amness, which was not within the body. You see? So many bodies this I am has experienced. So many dreams it has had with various bodies. You see, I had this dream where I was in the forest or something. You see? We don't say someone else had that dream. We don't say that body had that dream. I had the dream. I had so many dreams last night. I had a broken sleep, so many dreams. Who says? Say, I had the dream. There's so many bodies were there having these dreams. So this I-ness which continues is consciousness. The sense I amness is present there. You see? That which is aware of dream or no dream, sleep or waking or dream, this one is just aware, you see. So although it can be said, ultimately, that consciousness also is awareness, because only awareness is. And this is our experience, because it is experienced only awareness is. Therefore, where must consciousness come from? From this awareness itself. But in this quantitative, qualitative realm, in this realm of qualities, we cannot truly say that qualitatively I do not know the difference between consciousness and awareness. It is like saying I don't know the difference between sleep and waking. Because if it was one even qualitatively, then we don't need to say anything at all. But because we are operating in this world of qualities, we are pretending to be in this realm of satsang, teacher and student, all of these, which are qualities. They're not real, they're not your ultimate reality. And yet we cannot pretend as if they don't appear. So, yes, for awareness, ultimately, even consciousness is just another appearance. So, one day we can say nothing has really happened. Truly, nothing has happened. But don't be in a rush to say these things. just
Hello?
half jokingly, I can say that if I splash you with some water and then I throw a big ice cube at you, it feels different, isn't it? So although it is the same, water and ice, yet in this realm we experience these, and that's why we talk about them. You see, so it's only a qualitative difference. Ultimately, there is no difference. There is only one. So how can there be a difference? And yet, if this was completely clear that only awareness is, then we would not even have this question. We would know that also consciousness is just another appearance. And yet, if this insight is coming to you, stay in this. Don't rush to get some confirmation or to be in a rush to proclaim that you have this insight. It's very beautiful. Stay with this. Marinate in this. Let the truth reveal itself to you in this way. And definitely don't give it to the mind. Because the mind cannot fathom these realms. Just stay with your own direct experience. It cannot be fooled. And all these insights will become clearer and clearer. How is the audio video? Because I'm seeing some feedback, which is sometimes the audio is not too good, is it? And now I'm seeing that the video is not. Video is freezing often. But I'm more concerned about the audio actually. How is the audio? Okay, so it seems like the audio seems all right. Okay, let me check if I'm on the right internet. Continue. So when we inquired together, we found that we didn't cross any ego, and we just validated what Bhagwan said, that there is no ego. You're contemplating something deeply. Mike,
And the contemplating of who am I?
let me see if your audio. Can you hear? Say again something.
Namo Ramana.
Huh? Even I didn't hear that. Say louder.
Namo Ramana.
Namo Ramana. You hear her? Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, very good.
Yes. Yes. In the contemplation of initially it was seen that there was a huge barrier of sleep.
Yes,
The sleep can overwhelm at
yes.
any point, and
Well,
so at
okay. Let's
after
let's pause there for a second, just
yeah
for 1 second, and then you can continue. You say that sleep came.
yes
Therefore, you were aware that sleep came.
uh, was aware that it had come. But
Yes, yes,
yeah,
you are aware that sleep had come.
yes,
Therefore, you must have been there when sleep came,
yes,
isn't it?
yes,
So, this I is
yes,
present irrespective of waking or sleep.
yes,
You see? So, therefore, sleep can be a barrier to your question and answer session of who am I,
yes.
but cannot be really a barrier to the looking for who am I.
Ah,
Because even when sleep came, it was experience, and then waking came and said, "Oh no, I fell asleep." You see, but still you were there to have the not experience, but you know what I mean, to
ah.
see that there is sleep and then there is waking.
So how it's happening is, uh, at, at the beginning of the inquiry, it is seen there is something called mind is there. That's this. There is some mind.
Okay.
Then uh, for some time it mysteriously disappears.
Yes.
There is no recollection of what happened.
Yes.
And after the mind has returned, either I find that I have fallen asleep or I have not fallen asleep. That is, the
Yeah.
neck is erect. But even then, there is no recollection of what was seen or how or anything that happened.
Yes. But prior to that,
Ah,
in this instant, let's do the inquiry together.
okay.
Okay. So we are checking what? Who am I?
Yes.
Uh, then you say what is happening when you check. Who am I?
Most, most of the time, it feels
No,
like
right now you do with me. Together we do. We both checking who am I, and then we compare notes. As it happens, you say what's happening if something is happening.
it's just a throbbing,
Throbbing
just a
is
throb.
who is the throbbing appearing to? Is that also throbbing? That to which it is appearing, is that also throbbing?
No, it's a form of intelligence. Something is
You
there.
see this directly?
Yes,
That it is a form of intelligence? What do you mean by intelligence?
in the sense that it's by default it knows it
Huh.
has the ability to know and
Yes.
see and grasp.
Okay. It has this. Okay. So it is knowing that the throbbing is happening. Now, this it, where is it in relation with you? This it which knows, it is a sort of a knowing. Where are you in relation with this one?
Actually, I really don't know the true answer, but
That's good you don't know. So that's why we can check now. Let's go back to the throbbing is still there or no?
yes, it's
Still
it
there.
is.
So that which knows this or sees this, that is a sort of a intelligence or a knowing you're saying. Now, is this knowing being seen by you?
I cannot see it. It's like a blank. It's a blank wall.
And yet you know it exists or you're just imagining it?
No, it has to exist.
No, has
It
to is coming from where? From a concept or from your direct experience?
it is there. Without it, how can
Yes.
anything be?
This is coming from your direct seeing or it's coming from just, okay, an inference that how can anything be? Because when you say it is there, that much is enough for me. When you add that, how can anything be, then I start wondering whether you're inferring it or whether you're seeing it.
No, it is there.
It is here.
It is there.
It is here. Who knows this? Who knows this? And the mind is resisting, saying, oh, it will be too arrogant for me to say I know or something. Just forget about it. Just say, speak like a child, innocently.
It is here and I know it.
It is here and I know it. Now, what's the trouble? So, this I that knows it, is it different from the knowing itself?
Mm, it's not even one aspect. It is just the whole thing. It's
The
just the
whole
whole
thing.
thing, and it's the whole thing.
Yeah. 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 Yes. And yet the throbbing is appearing, which is also within it, we can say, or in front of it, whatever feels natural to say, we can say, isn't it? Now, this knowing, this knowingness, which appearance can trouble it, can bother it, can touch it?
In reality, it has nothing to do with
No,
what
again,
what
inferring or checking?
in checking. It seems that it's not orchestrating anything that
Not
appears.
orchestrating. Yes, it's
It
not
it has no
orchestrating.
control over what appears to it.
Yes, it's not an active participant in any of this. It just is.
It's like a silent cloud hanging over uh, a- at the background all the time.
We can say like that, but does it have any cloud attributes? Does it have any attributes actually?
It seems like localized. It seems
Okay.
bound.
Localized within which space? For something to be localized, it has to be within, contained within something. So where is it contained?
As far as the eyes and ears go, that's where it
Close your eyes.
is.
So when you close your eyes, then it should go away. We can check. We're just checking together. So
Okay.
when we close our eyes, does it go away?
No.
It's here. So now what are the boundaries of this one? Where is it contained? Where is it localized? And if it was just the, then who sees thoughts? Who sees imagination, memory?
I had believe that it was a conditioned presence, but it's not conditioned at all.
It's not conditioned.
It's an unconditionable
Yes,
presence.
yes. Unconditionable, very good. And that which is aware of this presence, is that even, can we even call it a presence? Even to say presence implies there's a sense of something being present. Who knows this? Who's aware of this?
actually the mind cannot keep pace with it,
Yes,
or so after a time it branches off into some activity like watching the breath and just
yes,
go in cycles and gets caught
yes.
at
But who
anything.
witnesses even this? Anything that is appearing cannot, the mind tries to use as a distraction away from your inquiry, but now we are using that itself to inquire. So you say, okay, breath, it's playing with my body and my breath is changing. So who witnesses this?
This, this still one is just
Still one.
seeing that the mind is not, it doesn't know what to do at this point, and so it has just branched off
Yes,
to
but this
some
still
form it
one,
can hold.
is it interested in what the mind is doing?
No, it's not. It's neither interested nor disinterested, but
Yes,
it can see truly what's happening.
yes,
It can just,
yes, without making any conclusions about it.
yes, it
It is
can
just
see,
witnessing.
yes, that this is happening.
Now, this one, did you find where it was in relation to you?
This one is me. This one is me.
This one is you. Then how will you now play as Vedika?
Just for the fun of it.
Just for
Yeah.
the.
All aspects,
Yes.
just for the fun of
Very
it.
good. Very good.
Really, this, it's like a disservice to it to actually feel that any role is
Yes.
of primary
Yes.
importance.
Very good. We're recording all this. Very good. This is the simple dropping of identity. Dropping identity, it seemed like I must do this, I must do that. You see, this one that I am is without qualities, without attributes. How will it become something? Impossible. That is the dropping, simple dropping of identity.
Spontaneously, for the fun of the moment, it just
Yeah,
joins.
yeah,
All the points just blurs in. That's it. It's
yes,
nothing to,
yes,
doesn't get anything
yes.
out of it, nor loses
Nor
anything.
loses. Yes, exactly. It's very good, very good. The question about staying as the presence or versus staying as the awareness. What I usually like to say is leave it and show, either presence or awareness. And then you find you cannot leave it. So then what must it mean? This instruction, which incidentally just a few days ago also Guruji said that stay as the self or stay as presence or awareness is a bogus instruction for the bogus seeker that doesn't exist. You see? But what would it mean if we were to try and derive some meaning from it? I would say to stay as awareness or stay as presence would only imply don't buy into any ideas of what you are not. Don't believe yourself to be something that you are not. Because you cannot leave presence. That's why when I say, can you stop being? You cannot stop. If you can't even stop being, then how can you ever stop this awareness? So in this instant, in this moment, it is seen that I cannot leave this awareness or this presence. Therefore, the instruction must only mean that we've had enough of the pretending to be the person, pretending to be an ego, and we will not buy into any of the ideas of concepts of personhood. Staying as presence for some of you also means, like when Neil is asking, I have a feeling he means that keep your attention with the presence alone. And if you find it natural, comfortable like this, very welcome to do it. Even Bhagwan had suggested that just keep your attention with the sense I am itself. He said like this, my master said, just be with the sense I am. And I just followed this simple instruction and within from this idea of personhood. And I read that and I said, but 3 years is too long. You see?
Namaste, Bhagwan.
Namaste, my dear.
Maharaj says his guru asked him to only stay as I am,
Yes.
which you yesterday said it is the same as the awareness.
No, I
Before
don't
that, I
feel I
was
said
thinking that
this. I don't feel I would have said like that. Let me just pause you there, because very often I've made it very clear that the sense I amness is what I usually call beingness or consciousness. And that which is aware of this I am, that which knows of the presence, that knowingness or that awareness, that seeing, the primal seeing, is what I call awareness. So I don't feel I would have said I am as awareness. I would have said the I, which I am, prior to the sense even of I am. You see, something like this I might have said. The I which I truly am, even before the presence I am.
okay, because I listened to your satsang again in the evening
Yeah.
yesterday, and for years I was wondering, I mean, why it took Maharaj 2 years basically only to remain as I am and not find the source of the I am.
Yes.
And he used to call it as the consciousness. So for 3 years I had this idea and I was wondering, and only recently, about a week back, I came across one spontaneous saying by Maharaj, in which he has asked to transcend even the I am, which is fine with the Ramana Maharishi lineage. Okay, so awareness is prior to I am.
Yes. Yes.
What I wanted to ask actually, I just wrote it down and I thought ki I will just pitch in and then clarify one to one. Uh, Bhagwan Muji says, remain here, stay as self.
Yes.
So when the viper moves, focus on the road, focus on the self.
Yes.
So I'm an Indian and I have a lot of conditioning actually, of the scriptures and so many things. I know there is no self residing here in this body. The body is within me. So when he says, even today also in the Varanasi Satsang, he was saying, stay here actually. He's just putting his hand on the chest and then says, stay here. Bhagavan Ramana says that it is 2 inch on the right hand side. So discarding all this, discarding everything, I don't feel a sense to be, remain anywhere. I don't feel any need to remain anywhere. Because if I go into the instructions, if I go into the concepts, even actually I was thinking that I, Maharishi Ramana says one sentence, then Papaji says one paragraph, then Muji Baba says maybe two paragraphs. And now you say actually when the transcript for the 1 hour comes, I was just looking at this contemplation which you were doing, it took half an hour. So it is good for me because maybe I did not catch something which was inherent there in Bhagavan Ramana's instruction. So the grace has actually, somehow arranged me to come in contact with you. I came to know about you only a week back. And it is only my third satsang actually. So I don't know you at all. So is it okay? I mean, let us not get into this presence, awareness, consciousness. So when there is no need to stay, I mean, there is no need to stay. It is so natural. It is so natural actually. I mean, where is the effort required? And to think about the consciousness, I am, it is such a burden actually. It is such a burden. Straight away close the eyes and there is nothing. Awareness, all these things are words actually. I am awareness, I'm aware of awareness. All these things are, I don't know if they are required or not required. So I want, what do you have to say about it, though there is no saying required? My point is that whatever the conditioning is there now, the branches have been cut, but the trunk is there. Big trunk. It can have actually the branches again and the leaves again. So maybe it is only my delusion that the trunk has to be cut, or that the seed can still germinate. This seed is not that seed of Bhagavan Muji says the seed of the ignorance has to go because it will sprout again. So this seed is there actually. It has to be fried so that it cannot germinate. It has to be fried. That frying is still happening. That burning is still happening. So what do I do? Bhagavan Muji says stay here, but where? I mean, stay where? And who has to stay? I mean, who has to stay? I don't find anybody who has to stay here. It is only the attention which I have to keep here. And I'm aware of it. I mean, so what to do now? I mean, if I ask what to do now, it is coming from the mind. So Papaji says only one thing. Be quiet. Papaji says be quiet. Be quiet, be quiet. No other instruction. Muji Baba says, remain here. All his instructions can be discarded, except, so their instructions are just one sentence instructions. Bhagavan Ramana says, just be. Not like that or this. Nothing needs to be known other than these three sentences. So what do I do now? I mean, there is still the conditioning, and my master says, stay here, but he is not available to me. So I'm asking you, because on the last day of the satsang in the Rishikesh, I met him, and he blessed me that all your seed of ignorance basically let them go. At that time I did not know you. For 2 days I was just wondering, because I suffer from severe agoraphobia. I have not come out of the house for 6 months. Can you believe that? Because I have an anxiety problem. I cannot even walk out of the house. There is so much fear, so much conditioning here. I am on antidepressants for last 20 years. So there are so many side effects. I'm taking the heart medicine and so many other medicines actually, antidepressants, so many things, BP, CP. everything is there. So for me to go to Rishikesh was a big step for me. I couldn't have gone at all. And now I'm sorry actually, I lost the thread. And this is a very common problem for me because the reason is the side effects of the antidepressants. Excuse me. I have a very short term memory loss. So I'm talking to you,
You can have some water. You
but
can
I
have
will
some.
forget every instruction.
Take your time. Take your time.
So I just forget actually. I was in the IT industry, but I lost my job because the mind was totally transforming. It was just not possible for me to work. I wouldn't remember. I had a satsang yesterday with you, and in the evening satsang, I was not recognizing myself, and whatever I was talking, I was wondering actually who has told this and how he has told this. I was not even remember. I found it a different guy actually. So I want to, though there is nothing to be cut, but
Okay, I'd like to say something about all of this that you said, and let me see if we can make it really simple for you.
thank you.
The recognition of what I really am doesn't need any time. It's always now. Like Guruji says, the truth is now, the self is now. So this is timeless, effortless. Is here right now. You see? Now, you're absolutely right that because the recognition is there, it doesn't necessarily always translate into the chopping off of all the conditioning. Some conditioning can still remain in spite of the recognition. See? So the instruction, the
Yes, you
pointing,
told me yesterday.
whatever instruction, whatever pointing is there, it is first to bring you to this point of recognition in the right now, and whatever auxiliary instructions are there are just so that you are not adding on any fresh conditioning, because all of this conditioning, these attributes that have been attached to the sense I am, are being washed away. You see? So it's like having a bath and then putting more dirt onto yourself than having a bath, then this seems to elongate the sense of journey. You see? So although the recognition is instantaneous, the process of cleaning up of this conditioning seems to be time bound. Now I will give you the simplest instruction so you don't have to bother about any other instruction. The simplest instruction to get rid of your conditioning is to just come to satsang with an open heart, and all conditioning will be dissolved in this. Nothing you have to do. Just come to satsang with a sense of openness. Nothing else. Nothing else is required.
Bhagwan, this Hindu mythology, which is Atma and Paramatma, you being an Indian, you may not like to touch it actually, but everybody knows about it. And is it a fallacy kind of a thing? Is it same? Is it only a concept? Because all my upbringing is based on this fact. The mukti is uh, the merging of the Atman into Paramatman.
Yeah. Okay, this is very good. So let's look at this. When we come to the discovery of our being, it is what is called Atma Sakshatkar, which means to come face to face with your own Atma. The discovery of beingness. I am that I am is what in Hindu terms is defined as the coming to the Atma, Atma Sakshatkar. Then the seeing that there is an awareness even of this, and it is the being which arises out of this awareness and dissolves back into this awareness. This is the Paramatma, you see. And then when it is seen that therefore, because consciousness, this being is also made up of just this awareness itself, just qualitatively different, then that is called the merging of the Atma and the Paramatma. So I find it exactly what we are talking about actually.
Bhagwan, can you throw more light on this? Maybe some other way of talking, because the words which I got from you actually they confused me.
Let's look at it very slowly, and you stop me at that point where it is confusing. Huh?
Okay.
So the sense of being, the sense I am,
Yes.
is what is called Atma, because it is the light of consciousness. The light of this consciousness is the light of this manifest creation.
But
So
that is
this is
Jiva.
now Jiva is the sense of when okay, now it might not exactly translate into how it is defined over there, but this sense that I am existing as something is what I would say is the Jivatma, or whatever terminology is used over there. See? So this sense of just pure presence itself is the Atma, is
Yes, that is
consciousness
fine.
itself. You see?
That is fine. That is fine.
So this, then you from your own experience are saying that I am aware even of this. There is an awareness even of this, and it is
Yes.
this awareness which is primary. Even this sense of being is coming and going, sleep state and waking state. Therefore, the
Yes.
Paramatma, the greater one, must be this awareness itself. You see? So this is the Atma and the Paramatma. Then you say the merging. This is already happening where you say that actually this consciousness is made up of nothing but awareness. All there is this awareness. So this is the insight which comes. So it is exactly what we are talking about actually. There's no dichotomy.
True. Very true. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Very good, very good.
We require somebody uh, who can talk actually in terms of this kind of a language in Hindi to mass people in India. You know, because most of the things either they are available in English or in Sanskrit, or very tough translation of English into Hindi, which general masses will not understand. So that is the reason, even in the last four sessions, you must have seen that, masses they don't understand actually. So we require somebody like this. It is very, very important. It is very, very important. By grace, it will happen. Let us see what happens.
Yes. Very good, very good. Yes, it's important what you have said, and something has registered it over here. We'll see. We'll see how it happens. So,
In fact, I wanted to the very first Hindi satsang, which happened in 2013. That was the first time when Babaji came, and there was just one Hindi satsang, and Babaji was saying, and I was translating in Hindi. And Babaji was saying that don't add any of your interpretation in this. So because it was getting translated, but I could see that there are certain gaps, there are certain disconnects here and there. I don't keep well actually. The problem is this: I'm too much conditioned. Uh, smoking, antidepressants, mood disorders. So many things are there. So the body and the mind, in fact, I cannot commit anything. I just live spontaneously because I don't know how I will feel throughout the day. So I cannot commit to anything. They asked me to translate and put the transcription or subtitles, but even I could not commit to that. But I wanted to suggest to you for 2 3 days that if possible, then on the Saturday and Sunday, on Saturday and Sunday, uh, try to give uh, a satsang in Hindi, because nobody else can give other than you. So, but for that,
You'll
you
have
will have to
to
read lot of scriptures.
you'll have to actually first
You
talk
will
to my
have to
wife
do a lot.
and
Yeah,
let's see. Let's
that
see
is
what
what
happens.
actually. That is what. Let us see what happens. Yes, yes.
Very good. Very good. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Bhagwan. Thank you.
Thank you. Neil is saying, would coming to Bangalore make it faster? Where are you? You go. You went. Huh? I heard that for you, in your case, actually, life is making the space for you to come, and you still don't come. So in your case, I want to tell you yes. On the 10th, you mean the question is whether I'll come to Delhi on the 10th? Doesn't look likely at this point.
Bhagwan, I didn't know that you are the director of Budelia Media Limited. I came to know only 2 days back.
Just a
So
figurehead.
you have. I didn't know it actually. Only 2 days back I came to know. And it is so nice of you to arrange, all this. Thank you so much.
It's all
Thank you so much.
Guruji is doing everything. We needed one local figurehead to represent. So that's all. That's all. There's nothing at all.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's see if we can make a camera. Yeah, the mic also.
Working? Or I think it's not working. Or working.
You can do a thumbs up or down if you can hear. Up. Okay. Very good. That's to be a very good question to survive this.
Yeah, inside is beating so strong.
Yes.
Actually, in the last days in the Rishikesh, it was so deep feeling. It was not like before coming to Satsang. In the last days, I just went near the Ganga, and it was just click, like I don't know, experience, but without experiencer. And I see, wow, Ganga is God. Its stones is God. And look, known me is God.
Hmm.
People around is God, and a lot of joy, a lot of love, and just nothing, and just, and it was maybe, I don't know, 15, 30 minutes, and later some other clicks, and for me it was like, I don't know how to say that. It's like, and I don't know, maybe it's my, again, attention to the thought, to the mind, that I'm not that, and I don't know.
So this
Somehow,
define this that. What do you mean by? Let's go closer the mic.
I don't know, like in this moment,
Yes.
it's like different,
Yeah.
like it was that time,
Oh,
and
thank you so much.
yeah, and like other,
Just kidding.
and like other clicks, I don't know how to explain that. But this moment, when I speak about that, it's like not that.
So can we keep the before aside for some time?
Mm,
And if you still want it back, you can have it. Huh? Right now, what is here?
nothing.
Nothing. You also not here? When you say nothing, what do you mean? Like a blank? Yes, it's just this sense of spaciousness.
Yeah, inside the heart, I know it's longing, and I don't know, I came here fully to go that way, and it's like coming to satsang is like, not like I came here for a month or 2 months. It's like every day, like it's like the last satsang,
Very good.
and I know I just feel, like at work it's like when it's pam pam and it is done.
Yes, so you say right now there is nothing, and in the heart there is sense of longing. Okay. So now what needs to be done?
So is it again my belief to the thought?
You can keep this on mic.
Is it again my belief to the thought? It's like when there is no attachment to my mind. It's like,
Yes.
yeah, and just is.
Yes.
But there's still again, I feel inside some deep burning.
Yes. But that which is burning is seen by you, isn't it? So this which sees it, is that also burning?
Yeah, but right now I feel different. Like sometimes right now I feel like duality. That time
How, what does duality feel like?
I feel attachment to this body, to Diana, and like I
In
need.
this moment, there is attachment. or just the sense that this body is here is there. How do you get attached to it?
Yeah, sense.
Yes. So that which knows this sense is there, and it also knows that this sense was not there when I had a previous experience. Because no state will actually last. The most sublime states will also come and go. Now the mind makes a certificate out of one state and says that this is the state of mind. Of allowing all untouched, even with the most sublime or the most horrible. You see, so it's setting you up for failure. Just saying, till you get that now. See, I give you a taste of it now. Till you get that, you will not be free. This is not true. And you have a very visual sort of experiencing. I remember in our first conversation also there was some visualization which is happening, and I was saying, who watches even that? So, what is the fire burning? Who's burning in the fire? Fire also gone. See, all states coming and going. But is it bad news? Is it bad news to keep quiet? No. But keep quiet is not necessarily outward quiet, don't say anything. Maybe keep quiet more is the sense of personhood not being there, not buying any stories from the mind. And even if a lot of words could be coming from the mouth, it's not necessary that you're buying any story actually from the mind. That is the real keep quiet. If you had no experience now or ever after this, would you be okay with that? Nothing, no story, nothing to post on Facebook, nothing to write about yourself. If your life ended in this room now, would you be okay? You can say with integrity whatever you feel. No experience, no awakening, no liberation, no freedom, nothing at all that you can say about yourself after this interaction. Is that problem? There's a famous story in India actually where it is said that the great Indian Sage he used to get a lot of visitors, And he used to feel, wow, my Sangha is so amazing, so beautiful. All of them are just so much for the truth. They take so much of your time because they're coming for truth. Kabir said, because they come for truth. How can I deny them this? You see, they only want the truth. And then her name was Kamali. Kamali. So that they don't come for truth. And I will show you. So next day, what she does is she goes and stands at the door with a big knife. The price of entry today is your head. Whoever wants to come into satsang today has to first give me their head and then you can go. And everyone who came said, no, no, sorry, I forgot. I have an important business meeting. Oh, I had something. I had my child's PTA to attend or something. And everybody, and nobody came into the room that day. So Kabir is like, what happened? Why didn't the people come? So he called her and she said, you said that they're here just for the truth and they're willing to give their life for it. But I was standing today with a knife at the door and nobody came in. You see, nobody said, I'll give you my head. Truth is here and now. You see, but for the ego, it is the ultimate price you pay. For the ego, it sounds like pure destruction. The worst thing for the ego. The end of experiencing, the end of these states of coming and going. It can seem like this is so boring. It's not, I'm here to live my life or something. But if the price of freedom was this, would we all be in this room? Yes. Great states, no awakening experiences, nothing at all. Pure simplicity, you discover that you are this awareness, the pure witnessing of all of this. Would that be all right? No words utter that from your mouth. No satsang happening, no followers, nothing. Nobody recognizes your freedom. Your family is still treating you terribly. Huh? No perks, no halo, nothing. Are you okay with this kind of freedom? Joy, bliss, it leaves you. Huh? Suppose it leaves you. Love, love, you don't feel love in your heart. I pushed a button there. Suppose you don't even feel this kind of tasting of love, bliss and joy and love. Just the simple oneness is there. You cannot find yourself separate from anyone. You cannot even say I love you or anything. Just this sense of just being one with them. Nothing to write about. No poetry. Nothing. It's okay. Hmm. No, no, no intuition also. Suppose you come into satsang and you're sharing, then this intuitive sense comes and it speaks. You don't know the future, you don't know where you're going. Suppose this freedom was like this, and nothing really changes except recognize yourself to be. Yes, you have this great example sitting in front of you. Yeah. As long as we are saying that some experience, no matter how beautiful it might be, is a pointer to my freedom, then we are giving attachment to that kind of spiritual experiencing also, which is not that. It's simpler than that. Just a simple recognition ego, not from the ego. So then the ego itself is saying there is no ego. The no perks enlightenment. No siddhis, no intuition, nothing. No energies, nothing. Not even words like this coming out of the mouth. Nothing. You try to speak most ineloquent, some nobody can make sense of what you're saying. They're saying you're crazy. Suppose it was just like this. Would we still want this? Yeah. I'm not interested in the answer. I'm not really interested in the answer at all, actually. It's a looking. So it's a provoking questioning just to look and see what. So if I say that you came here today and you're just locked here from now on, you have no life after this, you're just stuck. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Nothing is going to happen for you in your life after this. Would you be okay with that? Just a looking, and we'll see that for some of us, some attachment, some fears, something can be coming. But what about this? What about that? I had these plans. Food, survival of the body. Whatever the experience might be, are you not the witness of it? And I know it's not an easy question sometimes when the experiences are strong. But even then, your whole body could be shaking and all the energies could be moving and full kundalini could be happening. And yet, there is this one you, the reality of you, which is unshaken, unmoved, and witnessing this with pure, not even innocence, but we can say like that, unconcern. Namaste, you feeling better? And this is the good thing about not attaching to prior experiences that leaves us very fresh to experience what is the next moment has to bring. You see, anytime we get strongly attached to something from the past, then it's like saying, I want what I had yesterday for lunch, but today the chef might be preparing something better. When we say, I want only that, then it becomes stale. You see? And we eat the same thing over and over, then it's stale. So when we not attached to any of this, and we are just waiting with wonder, what is not with the sense of expectation, just with the sense of wonder. And I can also tell you that experiences are no big deal. Really, they're no big deal. They're very sweet in the moment, can be enjoyed, but we must not confuse that to be the core of the pointing, the core of the truth is not an experience. The discovery of yourself really is just a recognition of what we are. Mm.
States of consciousness,
Yes,
they are given by grace. That why we tend to
yes,
feel that they've been specially somehow given by grace,
yes, yes.
so we cling to them.
The first part is very good. But when we say, yes, given by grace because only grace can give them. You see? But
Father,
then you would not. Yes, my
um,
dear,
could you
can't hear me?
we can't hear her. Can you say what she asked you?
Okay, because this one has gone into trance. So you can take, you can sit here. She had another. Vedika is asking now. She's down.
Yeah. So my question was uh, the whenever we are in an altered state of consciousness, which is like not quite the normal state, but something.
But you accept
Yes,
all altered states
yes,
to be grace, not the ones which are only chocolate flavored, isn't it?
correct.
Okay.
So yes, but we tend to cling to some because they seem extremely big. Like it's obvious that as a small human mind, you could not have conjured them like that,
The
and
human mind
therefore,
is just a bundle of thoughts. It can't do anything at all.
yes. So there's some difficulty in seeing those states on par with just any other,
Yes.
and so there you
The
feel.
the the alteration. I don't really want to say that, but if I can say, if I care about one alteration, which is the beings going from this associated sense of being, I am this, I am this, I am this, to the unassociated sense of being. That is the real alteration that I am really not concerned, but concerned about, I can say. The rest is okay. Because a lot of times I've seen that can lead to a lot of new conditioning, which is not in service to the realization of the self. In fact, many go on diversions because of spiritual experiences. Suppose now, today, you started getting visions of tomorrow, the future. You can predict the future from tomorrow. I doubt very much I'll see you in satsang again. It'll be like going to those people, helping them out. I'm going to tell you what's happening in your life tomorrow, all that. So I would not wish that on you. It sounds so fantastic. I can predict the future. I can help the world, but it's not service even to the world. You see, because the world, if it needs something, if it really exists, if we pretend that it exists, then if there is something that it needs, it's more this realization of what we really are. We don't need more with siddhis actually. We don't even need more of those who are just in this altered state of joy and bliss or something like this. Leads to only jealousy in the world. Concerned about it's the dropping of all conditioning. That was the simplest way, just to not pick up any new conditioning. Then the old cannot survive.
When you say about conditioning,
Yeah.
like, can you elaborate
Yes.
intuitively to sense what you
Yes.
mean? But
Yes.
it's like some special thing which the mind is holding on
Oh,
to,
okay.
or
It's simpler than that. Conditioning only means I have attached to the sense I am. Okay? So I am woman, I am daughter, I am whatever you attach to I am with a sense of belief is conditioning. So I say, tell me 5 things about yourself, those 5 things will most likely be conditioning. So when you say conditioning drops, it is just the belief in them reduces more and more and more. Simple. Yes. Say again.
actually this, as you said, this is the alteration of
Yes.
consciousness
Yes. Yeah.
to it's moving to its more pure
Yes.
form,
Yes. Yes.
which is true, and it's not actually has nothing to do with trances and
Yes.
special states,
Yes.
or and it's a very ordinariness is a big blessing.
It's a big blessing. And actually, if you're in the presence of a sage and these kind of experiences happen, then he's there to make sure that you're not picking up new conditioning because of these states which are coming, which in themselves could be harmless. Actually, they could contribute even to the dropping of some conditioning. But usual experiences, when they are not done in the proper with the proper guidance, then usually all these healing experiences and chakra experiences, all of that leads to more conditioning rather than less conditioning because we believe a lot of thoughts about them. So, like this. The thing to remember also in this, and the thing to check actually also in this, is that truly beingness is just being. So the dropping of conditions also is the dropping of the pretenses, not something in reality happening. Then it makes it a lot lighter. Otherwise, I have to drop this conditioning, which itself becomes a condition. So it is only the dropping of the false pretenses that we picked up. So if Stacy, what you could do is you can help me if there is a question there that I haven't seen. You could post it here again and I can look at that. If there's no question, it's okay. I'll go through. Then what I usually do is before
A
I
question,
close the windows, I read through all the chat.
a question from where?
If there's any question in the chat or in the Hangout chat that I've
YouTube
missed,
chat?
we can we can just post it here again.
Okay, okay. Sorry.
Thank you, my dear. That's good. Yes, sir. To come.
You just told that whether you're ready for at this moment to leave all conditioning.
Yes.
And it's Guruji today morning was talking that
Yes.
it's not an emotional state when you
Yes.
comment
Yes.
about that, is whether you truly.
Yes.
I feel that I'm too weak, vulnerable to all this when conditioned identity has been a question like small, even that's comfort that flip me off from the path means it's so much of mind come and I don't know how to drop whatever.
Yes. Okay. What is your biggest button? You know what I mean? What is the biggest attachment or fear, identity?
I don't know, Father. It's just that moment it feels so weak, like that time you just carried away with conditioning. It's like certain identity about even Sena kind of lifestyle or insecurity that in
Yes.
that mind comes over and it just want to take charge of things
Mm.
instead of allowing that to be. That time there was no trust. There is I don't know whether it's a trust. It's just mind is coming up. It's like from last 1 or 2 days it was so much is coming up here
Yes.
and
Actually, life is very merciful also. Even to the sense of personhood, it is not vindictive. You see, little bit it has to keep poking once in a while, so we look. You see? But the mind creates this idea that if I really get into this and drop the person,
God.
got it. I must have said something very good. I should look at the recording. There's a question from Prachi. Prachi says there is overwhelming dullness, losing interest in worldly things. When I ask the question, who is experiencing dullness? The answer is me. Yeah, Devika is watching from YouTube. Okay. So the answer I get, but we are not interested in the answer like this. You see, this is like saying, what is the capital of India? New Delhi. You see? So that's not really an inquiry. That is just a mental questioning. So we're not really interested in the mental question and answer like this. When the answer comes as a thought which is saying me, then we must look at it and say, who is this thought arising for? Who is witnessing this thought? What does this one look like? Is this one affected by the dullness? You see? So use even this answer coming as me to say, who me? Where is this me? What does this one look like? See? Don't let the mind derail you with these simple cookies, you see. Whatever it is saying in response to the inquiry, let it say, and you use it for the inquiry and say, who is this thought appearing to? Sometimes it can feel like energetically something is being obstructed, or emotionally something is being obstructed. Use even that to ask, who is suffering from these? Is there a sufferer? Nothing can really get in the way of your inquiry. Just simply like this, if the mind is saying me, of course me, what do you mean who? Me. It says these kind of things. Just look and say, who is looking at these thoughts? And the mind can say, but this is useless, you've done it so long, you don't find the answer. Who is looking at these thoughts? Huh? And this is what I mean by openness. If there is openness for these words here, more than there is openness for the words from your mind, then definitely it cannot be a long journey. Just a simple checking about who you are. But if you are more open or as open to the words of the mind as you are to the words of satsang, then we can have a very long walk together. Inquiry, say, Father, when I do self-inquiry, these thoughts which I have picked up earlier keeps coming up. I get an immediate answer that I am the self, not able to go further. Yes. Same like this. The thought itself will try to have the answer for you. You are the self. I am the self. So who is witnessing this thought? Who are these thoughts appearing to? What does this one look like? Does this one want freedom? Is it resisting any experience in life? Is it concerned about any appearance? And if you find that the answer to all of these is no, and you've checked that I am that, I am this, after checking, not just a mental inference, then it is the recognition of your true self. And this recognition is available now. But remember that in spite of the recognition, it doesn't mean it's the end of all conditioning. Only in very rare cases. In fact, not really in any case. Because it is said even about Bhagwan, who, although had this clear recognition, where he felt like he's dying and he wanted to be there to experience his death. But even after that clear recognition, he went and into silence for 10 years. How many years? For about 12 years. You see? So this being in silence and not immediately sharing from this recognition is very beautiful because it helps you dissolve the rest of the conditioning which can be there. So this assimilation is very useful. Please come. Yes. 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 In the seeing, there is never any change. Mike? Who has the mic?
Hello?
It's not going to be loud here. It's just connecting to the
Right.
computer.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay. Hi, everyone. Namaste. My question is, so I do the inquiry while you speak the
yes.
question. I just let the question into my
Yes.
being and just see what comes up.
Yes.
In the past, it's been like, suffering, whatever. Now it's not like that. And I get really nice
Mm.
experiences and thoughts and everything.
Yes.
And just happy. And I know, I don't know if I'm settling for less.
But you're not settling at all. Don't say you're settling. The inquiry is doing its job. You say that when I come to satsang, then I follow what you say, I come with openness, then the inquiry is doing its job.
Yeah.
Just don't come to any conclusion about whether you're settling or whether this is less or more. Just
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I get kind of like, oh, this is now done. I can.
don't buy that. And don't buy it is not done either. I know it's confusing initially because the mind only knows done or not done. It does not know neutrality.
Yeah. No, there is some neutrality.
This is good. There
And
is a
there's,
neutrality, but the mind can paint no report about it.
yeah,
So that's why it tries to paint a report saying done or what? Done or not done? Tell me one. You see?
yeah, I guess so. I
It
guess so.
becomes like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You see?
All right.
So just no conclusions either way, either end of the spectrum, no conclusions, good or bad. Just keep coming to satsang like this.
Yeah, yeah, it's happening by itself,
Very good.
and it's funny. Yeah, thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you, Eddie. Actually, every interaction, every question answer is an inquiry in satsang. So all of these are opportunities for us to inquire. As the 2 hour mark. Actually, my family went today to Pune. I'll have nobody calling me back. So what time shall we make it now? Yeah, 1 a.m. Another 6 hours. Yeah? No, I don't get locked in satsang. Yes, yes. Suppose you couldn't leave the hangout now, and this door is locked. Hmm. You speak on the mic. They don't hear you. Is the light supposed to be on when it's no?
Just get the overwhelming no, a feeling in quotes,
Yes.
that
In quotes.
self-enquiry is just a trick. It's just a trick which happens, which you learn at the right
Yes,
time.
best trick, but best trick.
It's just about staying neutral and just poo-pooing anything that the mind has to say.
But I have not seen one who's able to stay neutral without any inquiry.
Ah,
So it's the best trick.
mm,
It is a trick. The delusion is also a trick. So freedom from delusion also has to be a trick.
it's just very simple, but you have to go through so many seemingly strange
Yes.
things before you
Before you just
start
say,
to see it.
oh, this is it. It's always been this. So I know what you mean. Just this sense. Yesterday I was telling someone actually that everything that you're saying from the past or as a projection of the future is from the checker guy. So if you leave that and just speak from direct experience now, then you'll find the truth you cannot miss it actually. It's unmissable.
It seems like a way of talking back to the mind.
It can serve that purpose.
It's
It
like
can serve that purpose. I know what you mean because mind says anything to who? To who? Like that. It's like a counter to the mind. But really, it's just like giving some direction to attention to check who we really are at this point. You see? So it must also do that, not just the counteracting the mind, but also just this sense to look, who am I? But what I've said is that for me, what seems to take longer for those who come to satsang is just getting them to come to this point where they're willing to look together with me at what is here right now and not going into past stories or future expectations or something or feelings or thoughts, just to get them to this point of sober looking at what is here right now seems to be the entire defrosting process. Once we are there, then to just check what is here is the simplest thing. And there are many tricks the mind uses to keep you away from the checking what is here right now. The most potent one is I already know what he's saying. The most potent one is this sense that, yeah, I already know what he's talking about. And yet I come to satsang, I don't know what I'm doing. Like this. The mind is just like this. So like this, just to bring you to this point of just simple looking at what is here. Your presence is unmissable actually. That I am here is unmissable. And to see that I am that which is aware even of this I am is the most obvious simple thing when we are able to look together like this. Someone wants to come? Come.
So I just wanted to check with you what
Yeah.
you were saying, because in the past few days there have been some really strong, beautiful experiences, but then there's a tendency to the mind to hold on to them, and so then because it's so clear in those moments,
Yes.
but then sometimes you're not fresh with the inquiry, and so I just want to like leave all of that
Yes.
and just like check freshly with
Very
you.
good. Very good. So let's check together right now. What is here?
There's a sense of being.
Sense of being is here. Very good. Try to push it away. Try to not be.
I can't.
Can't do it. So then, is there any need to cling on to it?
There's a thought that says that like the guidance is to try to keep the attention with the presence. So I should kind of cling on to it in a way.
No, but this is not even what I'm suggesting. No need even for this. Leave your attention fully free now and tell me what happens. Let it go wherever it wants.
It still keeps coming back to the presence.
Keeps coming back on its own. When you let it free like this, and you're not resisting it, it naturally wants to come back home. So even this effort is dropped. Freedom cannot be a state where we have some constriction on our attention. You see, some practices, some ways suggest that, and it's fine. But nobody will say that after I'm free, I've just kept my attention on this one particular thing. That would not be free. It would still be constricted. You see. So in this simple allowing of even letting go of our attention, you find that it can't go. It can go, seem to roam about a bit, but the other end is connected to you. You see, and so after a while it gets tired because it's limited. It's a limited form of awareness in a way. You see, and after a while it gets tired and wants to come back home on its own. You see, no matter how much children love to play, ultimately they want to come back home. Isn't it? So we don't have to have so much control over attention. Don't go here, don't go there. You see? Then what is left to do? You say being is here, and this mind was trying to guide you into this instruction of keeping attention with your being. I'm saying not even that.
There's like some resistance when you say that,
Yes.
but then I just like
To say what? When I
when
say
you say
leave the attention
yeah,
free?
yeah. There's
Okay.
some resistance, but then I
It
just
seemed like he could be messing me up now because I've got
no,
some mastery
no,
over
but
my
I
attention.
but I trust you so much that
Yeah.
it's like the resistance can only be coming from
Yes.
some personal like mind identity.
Yes.
So it's like
Yes.
that I have to, you know. So it's good.
Yes. Yes. And I understand this resistance because most spiritual paths and practices are telling you to get some control over this attention. See? But you trust me enough to know that I speak from what is experienced here. And I find that there is no constriction really for attention. There's no need for it. As long as you're not believing the mind, attention can be allowed to roam free actually.
Today there was a satsang with Guruji.
Yes, yes.
I don't know if you watched it.
I did.
You
I
did.
did. It was whoa.
Whoa,
No,
yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, there's this certain sometimes intensity that's like it's like life or death, like this kind of like you need to at this moment you need to like stay with this and like it could be just my mind interpreting it like when that girl came up and said like there's no person and he said okay at this moment just stay and let this thing marinate and zip yourself in your sleeping bag and that's I think where this is coming from but it's all seen this kind of effort to do something so sometimes that intensity like especially when I see satsangs like this it just it could be my own interpretation but it's like whoa it like high intensity like yeah
Yes, actually, it's. I see no trouble with that because when I hear, for example, just stay with this, zip yourself in the sleeping bag. I'm just saying I'm hearing the same thing, which is that just don't make any effort towards anything at all. It is simple, no? How can zipping yourself up in a sleeping bag and just resting in that be effortful?
I think that's been the mind interpretation for a long time like and so this constant sometimes effort especially after a clear seeing then this really strong effort comes in
The mind uses anything it hears to try and fulfill its agenda. You see, they're saying, see now."
because being is just a lack it's just a complete lack of effort it's complete
Yes,
it's just being
yes,
everything else is
yeah,
like a doing
yes.
so
Being is just being, but there is a time where it is a dropping of identification, the dropping of identity, which seems like it is some effort. And I also say in satsang that if it feels like not believing, make that effort. You see, because actually you will see that it is no effort. So because you're seeing that now, then it is seeming like, but I don't need to do anything at all. You see, but also remember that it is not just the question which is being answered, but more the questioner which is being answered. So, so we must be able to take what is said, like Guruji himself says, don't make tattoos out of any of the words. Just take them in satsang, and this is for all of you here also. Just take them and see how it resonates, how it sits. Because actually, I can tell you, if you were to take the words of every satsang, you will find at least 5 contradictions. You see, if and Amaya maybe can point some of these out because she does so many of the transcripts, but but it's like this. It's not consistent conceptually. You see, it is just sometimes I say like this that if you're driving on a road, you see there are very few cars which can just like this. So sometimes like this, little bit like this, little bit, and we keep going straight. Sometimes the back comes from that side, sometimes it comes from this side, so that we remain straight. You see? So. remain neutral is completely not an instruction for the mind at all. So then the mind says, what do I do? So then one day say, okay, do little self-inquiry. Oh, then it seems like that you're making practice out of it. Just don't do any inquiry. Okay? So we have to get to that neutrality using that left and right little bit.
I also just want to share, like there was a questioner who came yesterday who was talking about how, oh, but like there's only awareness, so anytime you're talking about being, um, it's like it's like
Going lower
it's like
at a
going
lower
lower,
level.
like this
Yes,
thing.
yes.
And I actually had that for a
Yeah,
long time. And
yeah,
if I'd heard that earlier,
yeah.
I would have, because I was still so unhappy, and um and actually it was like you really helped me when, even I remember asking this question in Rishikesh about I don't see like the being, like this thing, and you guided me how the body is perceived in the being,
Yes,
and suddenly through your guidance I was able more to actually, in a way, even though
yes,
you were saying how you weren't able to,
yeah,
and it like just, it was like happening
yes,
on its own. And
yes,
then also yesterday after the satsang, it was also like happening really
yes,
strongly. And it was, I don't know why, I just feel to share, like it
yes,
was
yes,
like it's like I just clearly saw that, like I am the presence, you know.
yes.
And in that moment, and since yesterday, it's like person isn't there,
Yes.
you know. And it might come back and reform itself in the mind, but like in the past, since
It
yesterday,
never
it's
has a
like,
real form actually.
yeah, but it's like just seeing the
Yeah,
thoughts,
thoughts.
and everything is just perceived. And it was like the being is like in like a field of
Yes,
some, I
yes,
don't know, like it's like this like energetic potential, or just, and everything is just perceived in it.
yes. I like this definition. Just like energetic potential in which everything is perceived.
And like there has been this urge to just want to like, because I do see how the, it's like the energy goes out into the perceivables and these things, but when it like just stays that there, it's so, it's like a new dimension.
Yes. Unassociated being. Very good. See.
It's just like I just saw how I was picking up so much spiritual conditioning and it was
Yes.
blocking me. And then being able to interact with you, it like just broke it. And I don't know, it just feels
Very
like
good.
I'm able to really hear what you're
Yes.
saying.
Yes. I'm very happy to hear that. Very good.
And I could sit here forever, but I.
You can stay till another questioner comes. You can stay. Uh, So, in addition to the question on self inquiry, there was a question about Father, why this peace or happiness gets diluted with suffering? And I find I get back to square one. So, I presume what she's asking is when I inquire, then there are times where some peace and happiness can come, and something feels like it must be like this, and yet it goes back. You see? Now, that is the way of this world. No state that comes and stays. That which comes is that which is coming is also going. And actually, if it just came and stayed, then we would have no sense of appreciation for it. This coming and going in this realm, this play of contrast, is what gives us this enjoyment of this Leela. You see? Sugar and spice, hot and cold. You see? So don't get attached to any states which are coming. And stay with the inquiry which is saying, who is the witness of these states? And when you discover your statelessness in the freedom of allowing all states to come and go, and yet you find that I in reality have no states, then you can say that this is real contentment, or this is real love, or this is real peace, but not the phenomenal states that we are used to talking about, you see. So allow all states to come and go, don't resist anything, find out who is the witness of them. Devika says, a word you used in a recent satsang keeps coming back to me, Father. Open. Open, 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 open. So beautiful. Yes. Yes. I have said that this is my wallpaper, desktop wallpaper. Just one word, open. This openness, this non-resistance, this simple allowing. It is not possible to be open and egoistic at the same time. Ego means resisting something. Open and egoistic. Ego and a person. Open and a person at the same time. Cannot be. Person means have an opinion about something, have a judgment about something, have a plan for something, have a desire or aversion about something. You're just open. You cannot create a person in openness. You need to close yourself with some beliefs. You see? So this open I find very beautiful actually. It's very beautiful. And also it's very now, which I like very much, you see. Just this open. Just like that. I don't know whether you know what I mean. It's a beautiful reminder which is here now. So you say open and everything. It's just open. All thoughts can come, all emotions, sensations, feelings can come. You see, attention can also openly just move about. This is freedom, you see. Taste of freedom is like this. This open is very good. Very good. Uh, Jyotika says, Father, there is a little confusion here about effort. I don't actually have a particular question, but if you fail to say something, I am here. If you have a sense that I can make some effort or I can make some choice, just make the choice not to believe your next thought. And if this is some sort of a jaded instruction because you heard it for many years now, then I'll give you option two, which is if you feel like you have some sense of effort, then just use the effort to inquire into who you are. Sometimes it feels like none of these are happening. I don't have the energy or the mind has become too resistive or something. Then just make the effort to keep coming to satsang. If for some reason satsang is not there, I don't need to tell you all this actually, but suppose someone is listening who's new, but suppose for some reason satsang is also not there and you don't want to watch a recording, then you could actually, so the sense of inquiry is not there, satsang is not there, then you could actually take on some meditation, some mindfulness. You find you're not able to meditate or it's not happening, then you can take some favorite mantra and do some chanting. You find even chanting not happening, I don't even have energy or inclination to chant, then even hatha yoga practice you can do. You can do. If even that is not happening, if not even hatha yoga, don't want to move limbs also, nothing. And I'm laughing actually, but I've been there, so I can say these things. Then just pray. Just make a simple prayer. Even if it's full of doership and duality, make a prayer. It's good enough. If you can't even pray, then just go to sleep. It's good. And some days you just have to go to sleep. Sometimes I tell my kids like this, when they feel like they're having a bad day or something, I say, just today, just go to sleep. Don't worry about anything. So now, okay. if, you, if you can't get sleep, which is a problem I've never had actually from childhood, you need to talk to someone who's an expert on that topic. Because I speak only from experience. I've always had this. I could sleep anywhere, maybe except like bus rides and planes. But any time of the day, give me a couch, give me a carpet, give me anything, I can sleep. Yeah. I can sleep. Yeah. Radha says, Father, like you say, the jaded instruction, yes, it feels like that here, but it is the most simple instruction. When it is heard fresh, it is magic. Yes. So now, actually, at least nobody can say, I don't know what to do. Bas, enough for today. This realm is full of contrasts. So I'm sure if there's a no, then I'm sure there's also a yes somewhere in the room. Yes. Because easier to express the no than the yes. See, Radha says, I have to go now. Thank you, Father. Yeah, huh? Yes. Okay, last question. Marisa says, Anantaji, I have a question about ego. My direct experience is mixed with the words of another spiritual teacher from the past. Direct experience is mixed with the words, okay. Ego as that which is actually pure and perfect. If a branch were to fly at my head, it's not complete. We'll wait for the. Okay, here it is. Okay. If a branch were to fly at my head, I'm actually wondering what's going to come after that. And then she says, if a branch were to come to fly at my head, I would like, and she stopped at that precise moment. This is wonderful. She could say anything after that. What could it be? If a branch were to fly at my head, I really don't know. Devika says maybe she's asking for a Zen stick. Uh, let's not presume that too quickly. Okay, we'll see if she's able to post now. Maybe she had some issue with the internet. Oh, she says, if a branch were about to fly at my head, I would like to get out of the way. Ah, okay, okay. See, it's good we didn't presume the Zen stick thing. Yes, yes. So let's look at this. If a branch was falling or something was coming at us, like this, I threw something at him, he would just duck, no? Do we need the sense of being a person for that? No. It's just on its own. In fact, this is the simplest example where who is doing this? Is there a person, entity? Is there a thought which is required saying, you better move? There's no time for that. It's coming. Something falls from here, glass falls, something instantly catches it without any interference from the mind or person identity. You see? So your example is just more proving what I am saying. And you find more and more that our life is like this, just spontaneous on its own, fresh. Because the same intelligence which can duck when something is thrown is also running the rest of our life. It's beating our heart. It's getting breath into our lungs. All of this is happening. And you say ego as preservation for the body to live. This much sense of preservation for the body will continue. In most cases, even most sages, this much sense is there that this much sense of body preservation is there that they're not saying, really, I don't care, tomorrow morning I could jump off a cliff or something like this. You see? So there's nothing contradictory in that. But this sense of personhood, this sense of guilt and pride and regret and remorse, all these personal ideas about how life should be or not be, about what our next moment should bring, that takes away the freshness of from this experience. You see. So just in this way, this openness, spontaneity is not possible when we are too caught up in our ideas of who we are and what our life should be. So that's what we are talking about. And many times actually you find that we hear an instruction like this, which could be that the way to make a person happy is just to be in the moment. You see? So that's another way of saying it, because actually if you're giving your attention to just the right now, you see, I would say that there is no person there. You see? But if it is like this and it appeals where you say just be in the right now and you'll be a very happy person or something like this, then it's fine. It's completely fine. But from my experience, what I must also say is that just like there is no neutrality, there is also, I have not come across one who has continued to carry the belief in themselves being a person and and also being able to stay in the present moment. You see? Because conditioning by definition, person idea by definition is about the past or future. There's a request for me to sing a Monte Sahaja song. Obviously, someone who's not heard me sing. Jenny has to go because her kids are tearing down the house. Love you too. Thank you. So, who's going to sing a Monte Sahaja song? Most of the songs we sing are Monte Sahaja songs. Yeah, it is done. Okay. Yeah, right on time. Just when I was about to sing, Devika got worried and she said, Radha, save this situation. I'm just kidding. I'm just fooling it. Yeah. There's a big group here. Maybe they can sing. It's good. But if we disconnect this, will it take the internal mic or yes? Okay. Just take the USB out.
Are you serious?
It is done, it is done. Hallelujah, it is done. It is done, it is done. Hallelujah, it is done. I don't think we can sing together, my love. You sing, you sing.
You sing, I'll mute. Continue.
You are always in my heart, never shall we be apart. I am always in your heart, never shall we be apart. Om Namah Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. It is done, it is done. Hallelujah, it is done. It is done, it is done. Hallelujah, it is done. You are always in my heart, never shall we be apart. I am always in your heart, never shall we be apart. Om Namah Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Plug the USB in. Did we change the back to setting back to USB?